telling you.
In progress.
All right, this is the Personnel Committee meeting for the City of Green Bay. We'll start with roll call. Alder Johnson.
Here.
Alder Hinkfast.
Here.
Alder Grant.
Here.
I'll entertain a motion on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that passes unanimously. Regular business, item 1, for consideration with possible action on the request to fill the following positions and all subsequent vacancies resulting from internal transfers. Sub A is a mechanic.
Is Parks here to talk about this? No? No? Should we hold this one over, Bill? Move to approve.
Second. Oh.
All those in
Either way.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Item 2, for consideration with possible action on a request to reclassify 2 custodian 1 positions to custodian 2. Anyone have any questions for staff?
This one I do have a question on. Rick, since you're here. I mean, it was kind of, I mean, the fiscal impact of this, we have the annual ranges here. So I assume you're looking for this to take effect immediately?
Correct.
And is it your current budget that's going to absorb the difference?
Right, and we've had a vacancy since April 4th, and we're hiring on the 21st of this month, so we can absorb in this year's budget.
Do you see, I mean, these roles and responsibilities continuing that way into the future?
Yes, oh yeah, big time. It's, as a matter of fact, when you put the 2 job descriptions side by side, just based on the size of our staff, we've increased the number of facilities, like when I first started, greater than 50%, and just, it's kind of an all hands on deck type of approach to get jobs done. We do a lot of renovating inside with our own staff, and if our building services supervisor is out on a vacation or something, they're the backup, so they're doing a lot of those duties. So it's very regular occurrence.
Okay. Yeah, and that's it, and I'm not doing this on purpose, Bill.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, because it reinforces, though, the brief discussion we were having beforehand, which I've talked to some department heads about, which is, I mean, here we have, like, custodians that are doing the work of maintenance people, right? And then, I think you're starting to see that in other departments, right? You've got the fire station trying to figure out how to build a fire station. And is that what is that what the fire chief is best at? You can argue the same, right, with police, and I just, for me, and Diane, I know you're sitting out there, but it's like, to me, there seems to be a lot of logic in facilities division, right, that is kind of spacing out maybe some of these needs, but also then overseeing some of these staff so that way we're kind of leveraging the right people in the right places and not necessarily having to upclass people within this building and then upclass in this building, right, where you could have a custodian and then you have another role, but they manage 2 different buildings in essence, right, or all of our buildings for that matter. So I don't know if any of that conversation has really been occurring at all at the staff level, but
I can tell you that for the 2026 budget, we have created a new division called facilities. It's just taking the same people that are right now under like DPW or in engineering, and we're just reallocating. So we are creating a division called, again, facilities. And so that we can start having those expenses all going into that bucket. So again, we did not talk about consolidation of any kind of like custodials or mechanics and maintenance people at this point. But we are trying to start being able to separate the items that are related to facilities.
because there's the constructing of the facilities and then there's the maintenance of them, right?
Correct.
And
Correct.
it feels to me like it should be under one
Yeah.
umbrella, and maybe it's a transition thing, right?
Yeah, so, and again, I can't tell you that for sure if that's what's been discussed,
Yeah.
actually by the Department of Public Works director at this point, but again, baby steps is where we're looking to create the division.
Yeah, and it's good. Like I said, I've talked to a few department heads about it, and then I'll just make sure that it's in my list of budget requests.
Yep.
Because I would like to see maybe some efficiencies gained through that type of realignment. It just seems weird to me. I mean, you're a purchasing manager, right? But like, you know, when you get like police department overseeing custodians, I don't know. think there's a better way to maybe handle that, so.
Well, and I have another question, and that would, Brian, for you. When we talk about custodian ones, custodian twos, I mean, we have people like fire, police, I'm sure you have people here. If we just move 2 of them up to custodian 2 because they're in the police department, what does that do for the rest of them? And I think that's where you're going to try and get some efficiencies there. But I would assume there's some kind of standards?
The work content, so within what's in the job description and what they're actually doing. So custodian 2 has completely different or added responsibilities. What was it in there? Maintenance, repairing floors, carpentry, work that a typical, let's say, City Hall custodian 1 definitely is not doing. So there's differentiation in between the two, and if any other custodian 1s are doing that work, then we should be having the same exact conversation for them that we're having today.
That's what I want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Police department used to have 3 full-time, 1 part-time, got cut down to 2. And then they picked up the Joannes substation, the substation on Shawano Avenue, the substation on Erwin Street. And they're also responsible, I think, for the storage facility, aren't they?
On Day Street, yeah.
On Day Street, where we keep our
Grounds and
items.
all that out there and doing some work at the Press Gazette.
And as I was recently told at the Parks meeting, we have one plumber for all city facilities. So if there's a water issue and he can't get to the PD right away, these guys have to try and figure out how to at least Band-Aid it until it can be done properly, so. Yeah, there might be some sense in doing some looking into things.
Yeah, I was just asking, and it's more from a policy perspective. I mean, I have no issues moving them up to level 2, but just so we're looking at things, across the rest of the divisions.
All right, any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that passes unanimously. And it gets us to informational. There's a report of routine personnel actions, and then our next meeting is July 29th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're done. All right, guys, Grant, Mom said she's gonna get you